Hello and welcome. This is Amir Lahiji live from Los Angeles. Good evening. How is your day? So, today we started with anger and aggression. No, not with anger. It was a topic of today in the morning. So, and how, anger could change and goes to aggression and hatred. So in the afternoon, Dr. Fujan, she spoke about why looks like some couples they decided to just fight with each other, worse on be kind and loving each other. And in the evening, we are going to talk about brain and music. And my special guest is Dr. Khorramshadi. She's a psychiatrist, and she loves neuroscience, like me. I love it. We have lots of questions from people, and let's see. Live from Los Angeles, we are going to New York because, hello, are you there? Can you hear me?
Good evening. Yes, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for asking.
So, looks like we have a delay, huh?
We do. Actually, I believe that,
So,
we don't have a good
just give me a
connection
second.
tonight.
I forgot to put my headphone. Give me a second, please. Sorry. That's the problem of the, one-man show. So, sorry. So, do we have a delay or we are in the same time?
No, I believe that we do have delay.
Yeah, okay, we have a delay though. It was a problem 5-10 minutes ago, but in last 10-15 seconds they fixed it. Yeah, it's much better. So let's talk about, we are going to talk about music and brain, but in last two session we talked about neuroplasticity. We received a couple questions and people asked what is neuroplasticity?
Beautiful. Well, actually, we know that, brain made of a couple of, cells. We call it as a neurons. And there is a couple of cells that, help these neurons to get the nutrition, take care of them, protect them. We call it as a glia or neuroglial cell. So two combination of the cells, which is the neurons, which are the main, foundation of the neural activity. And we do have the glial cells, which, helping to, protect and nourish the cells. So when we are talking about the neuroplasticity, means that our brain has a specific structure. When we go to, when we get there, from our mother come to the world, we do have the specific structure of the brain, but we can change this structure little by little with the practices and with the external stimuli that we are affecting on our brain. So when we are talking about the neuroplasticity after the stroke, means that we are trying to make an arrangement of the cells, rearrangement of the cells, or probably rearrange the architect of the brains after the stroke. So we know that, when people does have hypertension, high blood pressure, they are not taking care of themselves, they are overweight, or they do have the diabetes, they are prone or at risk of the stroke. And after the stroke, they do have the inability to speak fluently or act a daily, activity of life. So basically, little by little, but the external stimuli, we are trying to rearrange, rechange the architect of the brain, which we call it neuroplasticity, to give a better daily activity to the patients. So if we do have a cerebral palsy patient, a child that comes out of the uterus with the spasticity of the muscles, clicking of all the spasticity of the muscles. So we are trying to change the structure of the brain, neural connection of the brain, to change the muscle movement in the patient. Or probably I explain it that when we do have the Parkinson patient, when we do have the Alzheimer patient, when we do have the depression, schizophrenia, all these will change the structure of the brain with the external stimuli to give a better life to the patients. So that's, we call it as a neuroplasticity. It makes that we do have a basic foundation, we do have the basic skeleton, but we will able to make a modification and changes.
Okay, then it's a technology, is it a science, is it?
Absolutely, yes, it's a science. We do have many type of the imaging. We can make an EEG, which we call it as an electroencephalogram, which taking or monitoring the brain waves. And we do have the PET scan, which measure the blood flow. And with these techniques, and with the fMRI, we can figure it out that which part of the brain is activated and which part of the brain is more stimulated by the external stimuli. So basically, when we do have many patients, 10 to 20 patients, and we are trying to make a research on them based on external stimuli such as the music or relaxation, such as mindfulness, meditation. We will figure it out after practicing and giving these external stimuli to the people. A structure of the brain will be changed. When we get the EEG from the patients, the brain waves will change. We have more theta waves. We do have the 4 to 8 hertz of the neural waves that we usually do in the deep sleep or anesthesia. When we make a PET scan, we will see that there is more blood flow towards the area that probably music give the external stimuli to the brain. So when we do have more blood flow, we do have the more and better function of the cells, which we call it as a neurocells and glial cells.
Okay, and third question from audience is how neuroplasticity is related to music. I believe you spoke about this last week, right? It was last week. We already talked about that.
What was the question? I didn't hear you.
How neuroplasticity is related to music, or music is related to neuroplasticity?
Beautiful question. Actually, I was, saying that we do have a lot of external stimuli, and you do have, when you are listening to the music, there is a short-term effect of the music on your brain, and there's a long-term effect of the music on your brain. At the short effect, we usually expect to get a relaxation mode to decrease the level of the anxiety and stress that we do have. But what happened to the brain when the music is off and there is no sounds of the music, or there is no rhythm, or there is no pitch at that time? So basically your reception, your interpretation, and your attention and your memory will change little by little. All of these parameter, which really essential for our daily life, for function in the society, we need all of these elements, will change little by little. I believe that USC, University of Southern California, made a very beautiful study regarding that to find out what is the difference between the brain of the children that playing instrument versus the children that they are not playing any type of the instrument. And they find out that these group of the children that are interacting with any type of musical instrument, they do have the better learning. So the level of the learning disorders, the level of the forgetfulness, it's very, very low. Well, actually, when we do have the ADHD patients, I mean, for the children, it's very important. And for teenage, we see a lot of, college boys, college girls with the ADHD. They get medication, but still believe that, the attention and the focus is not at the level that they are expecting to that. And then, we are starting the music therapy. We are trying to make them meditation, mindfulness with the music, and they will get better and better with the neuroplasticity that I already explained that, by the practice, we are trying to change the structure of the brain.
So there is another question. However, I think we talked about this yesterday. Let me see. What are the music's affecting brain?
We do have the different type of the music, and everybody likes the different type of the music. So we do have the church music, sounds of the natures. We do have the jazz music, very sad music, relaxing music. But the most important thing that if you listen to the classical music, which is pretty close to the theta waves of our brain, or listen to the nature sounds, water fountain, rain sounds, or any type like ocean wave, whatever is associated to the nature brings the theta waves and makes your brain cells go to that state of the mind. And it's really helpful to decrease the level of the anxiety, to decrease the level of the depression. And when we do have the level of anxiety and depression at low level, it means that amygdala is not in the charge. Who is in the charge? So prefrontal cortex. And what is the job of the prefrontal cortex? Make a decision. Try to make you conscious and makes you aware about your decision. So you are not in an autopilot. You are not in a mode that everything is going to happen in a nanosecond without of your awareness, without your decision. So you are in the charge of your life.
Amazing. How would we brain in the musical, instrumental player versus of no player?
Absolutely. I was explaining that we do have a couple of imaging, and fMRI is one of them, and fMRI is showing that the structure of the brain in the patient or children that playing music has better structure. I mean, the mesolimbic system, the hippocampus system has a better connection with the other part of the brain. So if you use the PET scan shows the blood flow, how much blood flow is available at that area. And we do have the higher level of the blood flow to mesolimbic area, temporal area, auditory visual area. So basically music is a kind of light, turning light as a for a Christmas tree. Every part of the brain will get stimulated. So it's very, very crucial to listen to the music or play or the people that compose the music have a higher IQ compared to the people that they don't compose or don't play, because playing means that connection between the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere.
We spoke about the we using music for healing. So, and now let's talk about music and pain management.
Beautiful. Actually, we probably this part is interesting for the middle age or a little bit elderly ladies. We do have a term that we call it as a fibromyalgia. What is fibromyalgia? It's a kind of ache and pain in the group of the muscle. Actually, we do have the 18 point of the muscle, which is the tender and cause ache for these people. So they get up in this morning and they do have a very deep ache in the whole body. But they are going to the physicians. They are trying to find out what is the reason. The physician usually get the EKG, EEG, a lot of, NCVs, all this stuff, and comes the test normal, normal, normal. So everything is okay, but I do have the pain. I do have the ache all over the, day. So we call it as a fibromyalgia. And fibromyalgia patients respond very well to the music therapy. If they listen to the music, repeatedly every single day, they do have the lower chance of the pain in the body. I can tell you that, we do have a lot of, chronic pain management people. They comes to the clinic and they get the painkiller, but, no response with the painkiller. So we're trying to put them on the antidepressant medications, such as the SSRIs and, TCA families, and still no response. So the last option would be the music. So I believe that, it's better to start at the music at the first step.
I was thinking, why you don't start with music? Is no charge?
Absolutely.
Is it the the less cost?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's why I usually don't recommend to anyone, listen to the music, relax, and enjoy the life.
How many type of memory do we have? Is it a different type of memory, right?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that, please.
We do have the explicit memory and implicit memory. Explicit means that where and when. So when you do have the appointment for your doctor, you know that you know where you have to go and when you have to go, what time, which day, and what is the location of the doctor office. So basically, this is explicit memory. But implicit memory means that you learn something and then you store it in your brain, and then you are trying to use this all information to make it, again and again, such as what? Typewriting. When you're trying to type, you are not thinking that where is the A, where is the Z, where is the W. You are typing because this is the, implicit memory. You already read, you already store all of this information in your brain, and now you bring it down. When you are trying to dial a number, I'm not talking about these days that, we are using the cell phones, but the last, many, many years ago, we were dialing the numbers and, repeating, remembering the numbers, and then dialing these numbers by the phone is a type of implicit memory. And these two are a little bit different regarding that, which one are associated to be in your brain for a couple of days or hours, and which one is associated to long-term memory, which is sinking in your brain. So when we are talking about the different type of the memory, means that music is able to enhance both of them. It doesn't matter that it's a short-term memory or it is a long-term memory or it is a working memory. Always music shows, especially in the research areas, that music is helping the people to have a better memory. So I believe that majority of the students, when trying to have a better focus on the exams, especially for the night before the exams, they love to listen to the music and concentrate more. So music, it's I believe that it's a miracle medication for everything.
Amazing. We have a viewer from Brazil, and she asked, I'm still looking the keyboard for typing. Is it any problem, or I think it depends the practice, right?
Absolutely. It depends on, when and how you try to learn to type. I know that, when you are a little baby boy or girl and you are trying to make a type, you try to look at the words, and then, this is going to be like a habit for you. It's okay to look at the keyboard, but actually your brain is not looking for each words or each, keys.
Sorry, I missed a word. When he's typing, when she's typing English, she's looking the keyboard. It's a second language. It's a second language.
Absolutely, yes. That's the reason for the second language. Primary language, native language that you are speaking with, that it's sinking in your brain. You cannot, dig in and bring it up. It's just a, working memory for you. It's coming naturally towards to the practice. But when you are acting as a second language, English second language, or you need to pay attention, and that's why you are looking at the keyword. That's correct. Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. So, sorry, I'm live and same time. Our audience can send a message to in our app or website. And another question is, what's the next topic? Next, is it still about the brain?
Whatever they like. I don't want to impose myself on my topics to them.
Looks like people, they like to know more about brain and brain function.
It's interesting. I'm so glad that they get involved.
Very good.
Yes,
very
absolutely.
good.
I would like to know that which part of the brain function they are really interested. I know that a lot of people struggling with the anxiety, and I'm trying to find out the way that we can decrease the level of the anxiety. Being mindful, having the physical activity, listening to the music, try to be able to enjoy from the little simple task of the life. When you are buying an apple, just to smell the apple first and then enjoy the apple and then bite it. So I believe that every part of the brain which help us to have a better life. I mean, applying our knowledge to our life to have a better life. It's my pleasure to work on it.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. And I think we've very profound. You speak about every parts and all questions and answers, and I hope to see you soon. Not next week, maybe end of this week. Let's see what's gonna happen, huh? Okay.
I do my best. I cannot promise, but I do my best. I have a lot of students that I have to, take care of them at the, ending of weeks, especially, weekends. But I do my best.
And you have a, new class here together in this media, and all of our, I'm your student, and all of our audience, they love to learn more.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And as all of you know, you can watch our previous programs, goes to our website, our app, in our archive this evening, and all of these programs is related to brain. We decided to put it on brain function. You can go there and find it easily because it's a less number of video on archive, and also on Instagram. Yes, Instagram. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
You too. Bye bye.